Ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet, today we're talking about Cardano, and specifically 2 reasons that 2021 is likely the year that Cardano explodes in terms of adoption, user growth, and of course, the price of its native ADA cryptocurrency. If you're looking for in-depth but easy to understand information about cryptocurrency from the perspective of a developer, make sure you get subscribed and hit the bell. But I know your time is valuable, so let's hash it out. Now, in 2020, Cardano garnered a fair bit of buzz with the successful launch of the long-awaited Shelley updates, which introduced the core proof-of-stake consensus mechanism along with staking and incentives for network governance and block making. This was on the Cardano mainnet. Now, these updates allowed holders of ADA to either create their own stake pool to become a block maker on the network, or on the flip side, to be a user to delegate their ADA to stake pools on the network to earn rewards for participating in the consensus process. Now, as a result, the utility of ADA, the native cryptocurrency of Cardano, increased dramatically, and participation amongst ADA holders in the operation of the network by way of delegation reached impressive levels very quickly in the network in terms of percentage participation. With Shelley, the foundation of a decentralized network capable of impressive scalability was laid, and now in 2021, the real momentum is just beginning. In the coming weeks, the Cardano mainnet will undergo an upgrade that will introduce native multi-asset support on the network, which will be the proverbial black powder poised to explode for Cardano. In short, this means that very soon, users and organizations, both technical and non-technical, will be able to create their own digital assets or tokens on the Cardano mainnet. These tokens can and will be used to create a wide variety of use cases for their Cardano network, such as non-fungible token collectibles, stablecoins, DeFi governance tokens, you name it. This opens the door to development of usable applications that leverage Cardano's mainnet as a transactional ledger. Now, you'll notice that I didn't mention smart contracts at all when I started discussing multi-asset support or tokenization on Cardano. And that's because, in contrast to Ethereum, which uses smart contract standards like ERC20 for fungible tokens, or ERC721 or ERC1155 for non-fungible tokens, Cardano will enable the creation of new tokens natively on the blockchain through a command line interface, a CLI, or an application programming interface, an API. And this means that you don't need to deploy a contract to get started creating your own asset. This approach is fairly unique, and it's something that we haven't seen so much of in the crypto space. And I think it's really going to be a powerful tool for developers and non-technical users alike to be able to create tokens on a single multi-asset ledger in the form of the Cardano mainnet. A positive side effect of this design is that users and developers will not have to fumble with smart contract addresses in order to manage their tokens, and it will be managed largely in the same way that one manages their wallet of ADA. Of course, with minor differences like the ability for only the asset creator and the owner of the key for the asset creator to modify the supply of their token, for example, but the overall complexity exposed to the user or the developer on Cardano is reduced by building multi-asset, multi-token support natively into the main ledger rather than requiring a layer 2 construct like a smart contract to create, manage, and account for them. There's no extra logic required to manage these tokens, and thus, there are fewer areas where user-created bugs or vulnerabilities in a token contract can cause issues within the token economy. Now, the principal currency, or the currency in which fees will be paid for these tokens, will by default be the ADA cryptocurrency that is core to the Cardano ecosystem, which gives further utility to ADA that the users are holding in the ecosystem. Now, in the intro, I talked about how the price of ADA is potentially going to explode in 2021, and it already has in anticipation of this update. And what will likely happen in response to this multi-asset upgrade is that the floodgates will open for a wide variety of projects starting to truly build their presence on Cardano, both in enterprise and in the startup ecosystem. DeFi projects, for example, are a really hot topic in the space. They'll be able to start to structure their token economics and governance models, and the hotly anticipated P2P banking projects in Africa will be able to kick off their work on mainnet, along with a variety of other projects. Now, this will be the first stage of growth for Cardano in 2021, but it will be dwarfed by what is soon to follow, and that is full smart contract support by way of Goguen, the next big development update to the Cardano mainnet, which is also coming in 2021. Now, at its core, the Goguen milestone is composed of two major components that will make up the robust smart contract and decentralized application ecosystem, and that would be Plutus and Marlowe. The former being the core scripting language for smart contracts on Cardano, and the latter being a tool with which non-technical users, people who can't code, and how they can create smart contracts on Cardano. Now, these two big elements of the Goguen update are important to understand because they'll be the bedrock of every decentralized application on Cardano's mainnet for years to come. Now, in contrast to Ethereum's Solidity scripting language, which is notoriously rife with potential trapdoors for inexperienced developers that can cause security issues in decentralized applications, Cardano's Plutus, on the other hand, is a tailor-made language that is intended to be as safe, predictable, and strict as possible, whilst flexible enough to enable developers to tackle a wide variety of use cases with it. The core properties of the Plutus smart contract language are inherited from its parent, if you will, called Haskell. And Haskell, oft used in aerospace and finance in terms of industries, is a language that lends itself to secure, reliable logic with clean declarative code. Now, if you care about the programming terminology in a highly simplified manner, Haskell is a functional language that tells the computer what tasks to perform to solve a problem. You're giving it instructions, whereas Solidity is an imperative language that tells the computer particularly how to do each task to solve a problem. It's a bit nuanced, but you get the idea in a highly simplified manner. A subtle difference that has broad implications on the way a language is used between the different styles. Now, on the flip side, one of the most underrated components of Cardano's tech stack as a whole, but especially the Goguen update, is Marlowe, which is a domain-specific language, or a DSL, that will allow non-technical people to model complex processes and deploy them to the blockchain as smart contracts using a graphical user interface. Now, it basically abstracts away all the core technical programming requirements and gives the users a drag and drop user interface to build functional smart contracts on Cardano. Now, that being said, Cardano could very well be one of the primary networks that garners enterprise adoption right out of the gates as people shift towards public networks. Why, you might ask? Because hiring smart contract developers is expensive. Hiring someone with experience is even more expensive. And moreover, the people best suited to design smart contract applications or decentralized applications are the people who understand the core business challenge that they're trying to solve in the first place. And that would be people inside the organization, not an outsourced developer. With Marlowe, a project manager or a process manager native to the organization and enterprise could go onto the Marlowe interface, drag and drop logical blocks in the interface, and then deploy that logic as a functional, secure smart contract on the Cardano mainnet. Basically, these building blocks on the user interface represent tested blocks of code or snippets of code that can be run as normal, but the actual programming part is abstracted away from the user. This cuts out a huge barrier to entry for organizations that are working in this space or starting to work in this space. Now, Cardano from the very beginning has taken a very different approach to many of the different smart contract platforms or even blockchains out there. They've taken the formally verified approach like academia, and it's a lot slower, but that strategy is starting to pay off as the pieces start to fall into place, albeit on a much longer timeline than most users and media pundits would have liked. However, being first is not the only way to succeed, and crypto is not a zero-sum game. With Goguen and the aforementioned Plutus and Marlowe components, along with a KEVM implementation to allow Solidity contracts from Ethereum and others to be deployed on Cardano as well, the network is poised to be a hotbed for decentralized applications in the future. Goguen, which is slated for a Q2 2021 release, is likely to be the spark that sets off the explosive growth in 2021 on the back of new developers and users coming into the Cardano ecosystem, more demand and utility for the native ADA cryptocurrency, and an influx of value to the market cap. The major challenge is going to be pulling precious market share from Ethereum and other competitors that are vying for the same user base. And Cardano is going to have to pull in existing and net new users into the crypto space, especially in order to achieve their goal of becoming a mainstay decentralized application network for years to come. Do I think they can do it? I definitely do. And the culmination of the Mary and Goguen updates, bringing multi-asset support natively and smart contract capabilities to make these token ecosystems come to life, really will help that happen. Being able to be a hotbed for decentralized applications will allow Cardano to enter uncharted territory, a ticket to the battle of layer 1 blockchain juggernauts. For ADA holders, this can mean significantly increased ADA prices if close competitors like Elrond and their native eGold cryptocurrency are any indication of the type of growth that full launches can bring. But what do you think? Do you think Cardano will see insane growth in 2021? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you want to learn more about Cardano's roadmap and the features that will follow the Goguen updates, because there is more to come, check out this video here linked on the screen where I break down each development milestone in the Cardano ecosystem in depth. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.